specific question about just the in-helmet communication. It's first year being a lot at the FCS level when you're playing other FCS teams. So how has that been going with quarterbacks?
It's been good. We've been working it in any live calling sessions in the stadium. We've been using it. We did it in the spring, so got used to it a little bit then. But I like it. You know, they can't talk back, which is probably a good thing sometimes. But you can't get any feedback. But obviously they can hear you and get the call to the O-line quicker and, you know, just kind of speed things up. But I like it. You have enough time to, you know, maybe add on something if it's something specific. And I definitely think it's a good element to bring in.
We talked to you in the beginning of fall camp. How do you feel just with the position battles in the offense from where you were then to where you are now?
I feel good. I mean, I think every spot has lived up to my expectations as far as the competition aspect. Guys are bringing it, and we just talked about that at the end. You know, when guys go down, the next group's got to be ready to step up, and you really can't have a day off here because there's enough guys in the group to press the issue for the coaches and make us talk about them in the meeting room and the film room. And but it's been really good. I think that's one of the reasons we have a chance to be a good team is just because of that, because of the competition just in fall camp.
Speaking of, what can you share about the quarterback competition between those three and how much you've seen each individually grow?
Yeah, every guy's had good days and some little bit off days here and there, but not too many off days. Kind of the same thing with the other groups. They better bring it or someone's going to really separate from the rest of the group. But it's been good. I mean, it's as we've gone along, obviously you install more offense and they don't just understand how to draw it up on the board, but it's how the pieces move when it really happens, and then why we're doing things and according to what can change. And so all those things you got to rep. And we're a high rep team, you know, so that definitely pays off when you have guys battling for spots, especially a quarterback.
What's the most from the scrimmage?
I would say efficiency from the quarterback standpoint, being able to complete passes, move the football down the field. Our defense tackles well and flies around. I think we get a great look, and hopefully we're giving them a great look as well. You always wonder, do you have too much in when you're pressing the issue schematically? We didn't have a bunch of mental errors, which is a huge plus, you know, because we push the envelope with that. You know, we try to maximize what our kids can do, but then also do that by doing it different ways. So those are probably the main things to me. But good competitive back and forth scrimmage, which is what you want on a good team. I think the defense came out and did a great job, and then we turned the page a little bit, and it was just back and forth from there. And but good overall.
You know, you mentioned the efficiency. Obviously, Justin 16 of 18.
Yeah.
What does that look like exactly? Is that a lot of over the middle? Is that short outside? You know, what kind of can you tell us about that? We're
a big take space offense with the pass game, and some of it's RPOs and just trying to put the ball where they aren't. And manipulate space with formations, motions, and shifts, and sometimes all that in the same play. So him just having the knowledge base of where to go with the football is really important. And so some of that can be, you know, over the middle. It can be laterally from sideline to sideline. We want to push the ball downfield a little more than we probably did in that scrimmage. You know, that's something that I wish I needed to do a better job of calling some plays to push the ball down the field. But it's really just spreading the field and making the defense be accountable across the board.
Is that take space idea, as far as you can tell, much different than what they've been doing the last few years?
I think probably it was a little more intentional on running the football. We're going to always lean on the run game here and lean into it and read everything we do offensively through it. But I think there's some things when you get people condensed in the box that I think you can take advantage of outside. So I think there's some different elements that we've been able to bring in and utilize. And, you know, when you don't have a guy that runs a 4.39 back there playing quarterback, you can't just hit repeat and try to do the exact same thing. Even though I really like our quarterbacks, they have some different skill sets, and I think they're, you know, proficient in some areas that we can utilize more. And so that's kind of where that comes in. It just boils down to what your guys are capable of. If we still had Tommy here, I don't know, we'd probably maybe we wouldn't be expanding as much as we are, to whatever degree that we are and what it ends up being. But I like the direction that we're headed.
How much does it help to have the amount of depth and versatility you got at the wide receiver room?
Oh, it's huge. And we have different kind of guys. We have guys like Dane Steele that are 5'9", that are gritty, tough underneath guys that can make plays downfield. And then we've got all the way to guys like Jordan Reed, you know, that's 6'6", and Ryan King 6'4", and Chris Long's kind of a do everything in between guy. And it's fun in the general offense just to let things flow, but then it's also fun to isolate and really scheme for guys. I think we have a good balance of that, and that's kind of what we get into week to week when the season comes.
Will Oregon be the first Power 4 or just even FBS team that you've coached against?
Yeah, it will be. Yeah,
for FBS just in general?
Yeah, as far as play calling, yeah. I mean, I was a grad assistant at Washington State for 3 years, so we played in some big stadiums, but a little bit different being a coordinator and actually making a decision that impacts everybody. yeah, I can't wait. I'm fired up for it.
Yeah, I mean, anything about that? I mean, I know it's probably early to be scouting them, but anything, I mean, about them and just the opportunity.
Oh, I mean, great program. I mean, so much talent all over the place, and fortunately, they had 10 draft picks on their team last year that are gone. But I mean, they got a bunch of guys that are back. I mean, 5 stars are backing up 5 stars. A lot of transfers, that have come in, and I think they have 3 starters back on defense, but they got a bunch of guys that played, and the transfers that have come in are really, really good players, and we're excited for the challenge. I mean, it's not easy, and that's just how it is, but I can't wait to see what we're made of. We got good football players, and our kids are tough, and they'll go fight, so we're ready to do that.
Are there any mentors or guys you coached with over your career that have really influenced kind of your style and your philosophies on the offensive side?
Yeah, Mike Woodley was Grandview's head coach, was a brand new NAIA program in 2008 that I was the coordinator at after I was at Washington State. He's a guy that really let me grow. I mean, I was super young. I made so many mistakes and just learned, and so that was huge for me. Chuck Morrell, who's at Alabama now with Kalen DeBoer, was at Montana Tech. He's a defensive guy, but I really learned a lot from him, and he also gave me the autonomy to do a lot, but he was a great resource for me and would have little things here and there like, hey, this is hard against us. You might want to try that, and we had a great balance with that. And then Greg Brandon, obviously at Mines, had a great career at Bowling Green as their head coach, and then at Mines later, and a lot of things from him, a lot of attention to detail and being very thorough and aggressive and believing in what you're doing. And then obviously Coach Vegan's definitely going to have an influence on me here, and that's already started, so blessed to be here.